Hey guys, welcome back to Fairly Walking. Today I have a video that you'll probably like a lot because one of my most popular videos on this channel is about discrimination and racism in the Dominican Republic. And guess what? This topic is back in the spotlight because of some things that have been happening, and I'm going to talk to you all about it, share my thoughts, and I hope you share yours too. So what recently happened was that the very famous Dominican TV personality Francisca Lachapel went on her podcast and said something that we all went like, huh? She says when she got pregnant that she wanted her children to look like her husband, which is Italian, instead of looking like her, because she has curly hair, the darker skin, and darker features. So she wanted her children not to be discriminated against in life. And because her husband is more of a white type of Italian man, she wanted her children to look like him instead of her.
Si tú preguntas a mi esposo que las características de mi esposo y tú quieres que, y a mí me dicen cuando quiera, ¿cómo quiere que venga al mundo Llenaro? ¿Cómo quiere que venga al mundo Franco? Que se parezcan a su papá, que no se parezcan a mí, porque ellos con su papá va a ser más fácil. Pareciendo a sus papás, van a tener un 90% de la batalla ganada en todo lo que quieran hacer en la vida. La vida, Dios ha sido maravilloso y me ha bendecido mucho, pero me ha costado muchísimo más que lo que le puede costar a otra persona simplemente por eso, o por un físico, o porque no encajas dentro de una realidad.
Now this caused a debacle, as you might imagine, in Dominican society because she is a very famous Dominican personality, a very famous Dominican woman who has won an international beauty pageant and has gotten very good opportunities in international television. Some people were highly against what she said, saying that stereotypes have changed and that people are now having opportunities because of their talent, because of their merits, instead of the color of their skin or their looks. And some other people were kind of understanding of her.
Es una mujer que, aunque la hayan criticado por su físico, por la textura de su pelo, por lo que sea que ella quiere, es una mujer que, viniendo de un campo de Asua, logró el éxito que gente en la capital, que gente blanquito, que gente con un rostro bellísimo no lo ha logrado. Entonces deja de victimizarte, porque eso a mucha gente, al igual que yo, no le gusta. El que dice que ha sido discriminado por su color de piel, por ejemplo, o por su pelo, y ha logrado grandes cosas, su discurso debería ser: eso no es un límite para ustedes, claro, que están ahí, lograr lo que quieran en su vida.
Ella tiene como un trauma, como un complejo. Ella no se siente segura de ella misma. Ella le avergüenza su raza.
Tú estás diciendo que tus hijos se parezcan a su papá. Tú venías a decir eso, es como básicamente yo no me siento cómoda conmigo.
Me avergüenzo de mí y me avergüenzo de mi familia, me avergüenzo de mis genes y me avergüenzo también de ser de República Dominicana.
Tú le estás dejando, número uno, que tú no te aceptas a ti misma como tú te ves y tú preferirías verte de una manera muy diferente. Número dos, que por esa razón fue que tú elegiste a tu esposo, porque se ve completamente diferente a ti. Y número tres, o sea, tú estás como que metiéndoles el chip a ellos de que con su apariencia es que ellos van a conseguir las cosas más fáciles.
Bueno, ya tienes razón. Señores, no es verdad que si Jenny Blanco, en este caso, viene a buscar trabajo y viene cualquier otra muchacha que tiene el pelo crespo, para no decir malo, cualquier otra muchacha que es de color oscuro y que no tiene las características de belleza que la gente asume linda como la de Jenny, no es verdad que le va igual. La otra tiene que demostrar 3 veces más.
Pero aquí hay una verdad de una sociedad que suele ser hipócrita y no asume la realidad en que vive. Además de todo lo que ha logrado Francisca Lachapel, ese hombre, para ella, para Asua, donde ella hace, es un aspiracional. Ese hombre que ella consiguió es un ascenso social.
Pero de la misma manera que para ella pudiera ser un ascenso social, ese señor con el que ella ha formado familia, así mismo lo ven a él en Europa cuando tiene su morenita al lado, porque esa es precisamente la que todos ellos anhelan. El gusto es algo que es geográfico. Lo único que no me gustó fue que ella relacionara la fealdad con el color de piel y la forma de pelo. Yo soy dominicano, yo quiero parecer dominicano, independientemente de que por eso a mí me puedan discriminar. Yo no quiero parecer ruso, yo no quiero parecer gringo, yo no quiero parecer italiano, porque yo lo que soy es dominicano y estoy totalmente orgulloso de mi dominicanidad. Y la verdad es que el 90% de las dominicanas se ven como Francisca. Y si Francisca, que ha logrado estar en la cúspide, dice que ella es fea, ella le está diciendo fea al 90% de las dominicanas y eso no es justo.
But my opinion on what she said is that it is very unfortunate that she had these types of experiences as when she was growing up, as a child, as a teenager. And I'm very sorry that she felt discriminated against or felt bullied because of her looks. Now, do I think that means that Dominican society is discriminatory, or racist just because she had that experience? I don't think so. I mean, how can you objectively know that you would have gotten more opportunities in life if you were light-skinned and had light blonde hair instead of the way you look now?
Like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as.
I mean, we are talking about a girl, a beautiful girl, that has won an international beauty pageant because of her intellect, because of her merit, because of her intelligence, and because of her story. And because she won that competition, she was able to get into Univision, which is most people's dream if you are in that type of industry. This reminds me of the way that always people talk about racism in the DR. They say, oh, well, you guys hate the Haitians. You have to understand that Dominicans and Haitians have a very complex history. That reminds me of something that is recently going on in the US regarding the Haitians, and that is the fact that a lot of illegal immigrants are being deposited in small towns, and specifically a lot of Haitian immigrants were deposited in Springfield, Ohio recently, where they have been causing a lot of chaos because of their customs of eating like cats and different other animals that Americans and Westerners are not really accustomed to. People in Springfield, Ohio are fed up and they're talking out loud about this in the city council. And a lot of the people in the government, a lot of the Democrats are saying, well, this is simply not true. Haitians cannot be eating cats and dogs and things like that. Well, the thing is that the people in Springfield, Ohio are really clearly saying that they're looking at Haitian immigrants in their land eating the geese and the cats and things like that.
They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them like.
These are not civilized people. Opening containers in our grocery stores, helping themselves to what's inside and throwing the rest onto the shelves and floors. Pulling off of the highway to publicly clean and gut the roadkill lying there in front of anyone that passes by. Stealing animals from farmers and leaving their severed heads at the side of an old school where children play. Relieving themselves in public. Making some barbaric stew out of the birds that live in our park. This is insanity, and it has to stop.
And it is not unknown to us Dominicans that we live right next door to the Haitians that they do practice these type of things, even though it might seem a little bit out there in terms of our culture. But in their culture, it's quite common actually. Does that mean that we are discriminating against the Haitians because they're black? Not necessarily. You have to understand that we have such different customs, we have different languages, we have different culture, which also reminds me of some people that are in the States, for example, and they ask a Dominican person if they are Dominican. They say, oh, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. That does not mean that this person is not acknowledging their own skin color. This person is not blind, guys. We are referring to the culture. So if a Dominican person says to you they're not black, they're Dominican, but visually you see them as a black person, this person is saying, well, I don't have the black culture customs. For example, African American culture is completely different than, for example, Italian American culture or Jewish American culture or Dominican American culture. And I do this clarification because I've seen so many people laughing at Dominicans because Dominicans are saying, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. It's because they are referring to blackness as being the culture of black Americans, not the actual ethnicity or the actual skin color, if you know what I mean. So in the end, you guys, is Dominican Republic a racist country? I don't believe so, and I stand firm by my belief just because of the simple fact that most of the people of the Dominican Republic are not racist people. Of course, you will find some hateful and nasty and ugly racist and discriminatory people here in the Dominican Republic. Yes, you will. Just like you would find those type of people in America, in the United States, in Canada, everywhere else in the world, you can find people that are like that. Does that mean that as a whole, Dominican people are racist? I don't believe so. I stand by my beliefs. And just because people like Francisca Lachapel had sad stories of being discriminated against and feeling bad about the way they look, or other immigrants feeling that they're not being treated kindly here in the Dominican Republic, or even tourists that have sometimes come up and said that they were not treated fairly because of the color of their skin, sometimes in the Dominican Republic. Those are specific stories that sadly happen to specific people, and not because of that experience that that particular person had doesn't mean that an entire country is going to treat you like that. So if you're a Dominican, in the comments, let me know down below if you agree or disagree with me. I know you guys kind of love to talk about this topic, and it's a kind of a never-ending thing, but I do enjoy interchanging these ideas with you guys, and I believe as the time progresses, things will get better if we deal with these topics in the best way possible. So guys, this is me signing out, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!